The British are coming to their place in the sun.
Good morning. Just like to welcome you all on behalf of myself, Beverly, and Thompson's Holidays to the Toromire Apartments. I'm first going to go through a few things about the apartments themselves, and I'm going to tell you about Benidorm as a resort.
Beverly Wright, everyone's favourite holiday rep, tells it like it is.
Now, something else I would like to mention. You've all obviously come here to get a nice suntan. Please don't forget that we are in the Mediterranean. We're not back in the UK. The sun rays are a lot hotter here than we get back in the UK. So please be careful for the first couple of days of your holiday. Don't lie too long in the sun, and please buy sun creams with a factor.
And so our summer ritual begins.
You'd see some people taking more care, but the others just seem to blow it to the wind, you know. They just go down on the beach, think whatever happens on this holiday, I am going to get a tan, whether I get burnt or not. I'm going down there and I'm going to lay there till I start burning. And they do. Believe me, they do.
And they either go back very blistered or very brown.
Sometimes they go back brown, sometimes they go back blistered, and sometimes they go back completely peeled and pink.
Pinkness, we fondly believe, is our route to a tan. But the pinkness results from the burns of ultraviolet radiation. And that can be dangerous. Our holiday colour obscures possible long-term damage to the skin. Of all the skin problems that sunbathing can lead to, the most serious by far is the cancer called malignant melanoma. Happily, it's the rarest of the skin cancers, but it's also the deadliest. And worse still, it's rapidly increasing. In Britain, for instance, the number of cases has doubled in the past 10 years. Some experts are talking about an epidemic. More and more of the people struck by malignant melanoma are not the elderly at all, but members of the suntan generation, those who for the past 20 years or so have put the tan right at the top of their summer priorities. The tiniest sun seekers are said to be at particular risk. Their sensitive skin is especially prone to damage. And that damage may not become apparent until they themselves are adults.
All the evidence would point to the fact that we expose ourselves to the sun as nations rather more than we used to, and we expose ourselves to the sun rather more at a young age. There's a lot of evidence. We've done research in Glasgow, as have others in Boston, to suggest that the sunlight exposure, even in childhood, can come back to haunt you as an adult. This is a difficult concept to get over to people, but the skin does not forget. It clocks up the amount of sun it's had in a rather unpleasant manner.
The fairer skinned you are, the more susceptible to malignant melanoma. And the fairest of us all, of course, are the Scots. Scotland has the highest incidence of melanoma in the country, but it's also in Scotland that special campaigns have been run to raise the level of public awareness about skin cancer. The rest of the country is now following where Scotland led.
And the classic melanoma patient is the type of person who's very common in the British Isles, the indoor worker, the office worker, who has very little sun for 48 weeks of the year, but for the remaining 4 weeks, often in 2 fortnight episodes, lies on a Mallorcan beach exposing his, or more commonly her, skin to the sun until they burn. Short, intense sun exposure leading to burning is quite definitely a risk factor for melanoma.
On the beach in Benidorm, we reached our own conclusions about the level of public awareness about the sun and skin cancer. Now, do you respond at all to all these health concerns about sunbathing?
No, not at all. Never even consider getting skin cancer or anything like that.
Do you think you should?
I think I might do when I get a little bit older, yeah, but not at the moment, no.
Because some of the skin cancers actually, strike younger people.
Yes, I know, but I've never really given it that much thought. Other cancers I give, thought to, but not actually skin cancer.
How do you react to these latest health concerns about sunbathing and the skin?
Well, it just never bothers me, really. We're only having 2 weeks of the year in the sun, it doesn't really, I don't really think about it.
It's ultraviolet radiation which is causing the problem. So a sunburn is a radiation burn. I think people should understand that. And like other forms of radiation, the short-term effect is acute inflammation. Even you would have seen this in people from Chernobyl, for example, who were slightly distant from the centre of the problem. They would have a radiation burn. The short-term problem of a radiation burn, whether it be from Chernobyl or the sunlight, is acute inflammation of the skin, which is red. It's a burn that we all know about. It's tender and it's painful. The long-term effect of radiation is cancer.
There's now a further reason to be careful while sunbathing, and this time it's environmental. The scientists say that more of the sun's harmful rays are getting through to us. It's the result of the depletion of the protective ozone layer in the atmosphere by such apparently innocuous chemicals as those used in the domestic aerosol can.
We've got major concern within the scientific community about skin cancer in the future because we're concerned that the Earth's ozone layer is decreasing. The Earth, luckily, is completely surrounded by a natural shield called ozone. It's from about 6 miles to 30 miles above the Earth's surface. This ozone shield basically stops most of the ultraviolet radiation from the sun reaching the Earth's surface and basically protects humans from getting skin cancer. So as we decrease the ozone shield, we're concerned that the number of people getting skin cancer in the future will increase. For every 1% decrease in the ozone layer above our Earth's surface, there will be a 4 to 5% increase in the number of people getting skin cancer in the future.
So in other words, it's not just a problem of the sun and skin cancer, there's a fresh element here with the ozone depletion problem.
Absolutely. One has to be concerned about just changes in social behaviour. That is, the more time we spend in the sun normally, the more chances of getting skin cancer. But now we have to be worried about changes of ozone, our natural protection by human activities changing the ozone in the Earth's atmosphere. We have to worry about the greater probability in the future of getting skin cancer.
That report by Peter Gill. And just a reminder that you should on no account be alarmed merely if you are the proud possessor of a mole or two. As Peter Gill pointed out, it's only if the mole begins to look or feel different that you should take action. If it's itchy or painful, if it's growing, if it changes colour, or if it bleeds. And none of that necessarily means that you've got cancer, only that you should have it checked by your doctor, and the sooner the better.